The video's on, sorry. All right, this is John Colin with growingyourgreens.com. You caught me playing with my iPhone, being connected. And in this episode, I want to talk to you guys more about connecting, being connected to things, being disconnected from things, and also useless things that are connected, and more important things, and how you can personally be connected. So I guess where I want to start is I'm here sitting in my backyard garden today, and as you guys know, I teach gardening online. You know, one of the most important skills that we're not taught in the public school system and in general. You know, another thing I think that should be taught is interpersonal skills and how to talk to people properly. You know, if you guys are interested in looking up how to maybe communicate with people more effectively, look into a book called Nonviolent Communication, something I'd highly recommend, and think they should teach that alongside with gardening in the schools these days. The fact of the matter is we all need to eat, and unfortunately most people simply do not pay attention to what they're eating and are grabbing, you know, basically prepackaged foodstuffs, and they have no idea where their food comes from, especially if you eat at a fast food joint. You know, where did your food come from? How is that cow raised? How is a lettuce grown? What was it sprayed with? What was the wheat sprayed with? Was a wheat sprayed with, you know, Roundup or herbicide or glyphosate for the ripening process? You just don't know if you don't do it yourself. So one of my most important messages is to take control back into your life, know where at least a portion of your food comes from. And you know, I'm on a journey much like all you guys. I just live in a standard tract home, and as much as I have pretty much, aside from some walkways and some pathways here, I grow as much food as I possibly can, but I'm still a cog in the system. I'm just a much smaller cog than most people because I take responsibility for, you know, a percentage of my food and eat out of my garden every day of the year if I'm home. So what I thought I'd do in this episode is actually share with you guys how I make a juice, and also share with you guys a pretty ridiculous juice machine that I think is kind of just a waste of money, technology, and yeah. Anyways, so, and packaging, super huge, super important. Basically, the message of this video is I want you guys to become a producer instead of a consumer in our society. I mean, the moment you're born into this consumerism society where you're expected to have a job, make money, and then consume things. But you know, there's a different way. You know, you can produce what you need, right? You could have solar panels, have a windmill, make your own power, right? You could dig a well and get your own water out of the ground instead of having to buy it from your local municipality. You could have, you know, you could treat your own, you could treat your own waste products, whether that's compost, food scraps, yard clippings, and yard waste, compost it on site instead of sending it to the landfill. So you could be a producer of your own compost instead of a consumer and disposing of massive things. In addition, you know, we all need to eat maybe 3 times a day, and you could produce some of your food. The easiest foods to grow, you guys can see behind me, are your greens, leafy green vegetables. The easiest thing to grow in the front here, the foreground, I just planted peppers. And while some people might eat pepper leaves, I don't necessarily recommend that. The peppers you have to plant, and then it takes a while for them to make the flowers and the fruit. Meanwhile, this whole bed back here, all the collard greens and dinosaur kale and Swiss chard, as soon as the leaves grow out and they grow big, you just basically pick them and eat them. So it's a lot easier, and they're more nutritious for you. So what I'm going to do in this episode, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pick some greens from my garden, and then we're going to go inside and show you guys how I juice them. So as you guys can see, I'm just here picking some greens here. Let me go ahead and pick one more, and I got a nice bunch of greens. Other thing I want to encourage you guys every day to do is to connect, right? Not connect on the internet. Your DSL modem or your cable modem automatically does that for you. But I want you guys to get connected to nature. For me, that means just come into my backyard, right, and gardening for half the day usually. Some days less when I got to work more. Or, you know, for those of you guys that don't have a garden, put in a garden, grow your own food to be connected not only with nature, your garden, but with your food and where it comes from. Super critical, super important in this day and age. I think the more you're connected to things, the more you have a greater awareness of things, and the more you can make change and see that change is absolutely necessary. I think one of the big challenges today is that people are so disconnected, and they're reading things on Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, and they're not really aware of what's going around in the real world. This is especially apparent when you get ripped off because your head's in your phone, you're walking, and people like grab your purse and run or something, right? Because you're just not paying attention to your surrounding area. But I want you guys to be connected with nature. I mean, one of the most important things, we're losing our connectedness with nature these days. We live indoors. We don't live in, caves anymore. You know, we have shelter and modern conveniences of home, and we're just not connected with nature. So if you don't have a garden or anything, just at least try to get out to a park, go on a hike, something every day for your health. So you guys just saw how I picked my very own Swiss chard just right out of my backyard. In addition, what I'm going to be juicing here at the bottom here, if you guys could look, got some purple carrots from Tutti Frutti Farms that actually I met at the farmer's market. And so exactly, I know where all the food is coming from that's going to be going into my juicer today to make fresh juice. Now, juicing by far is one of the best ways to get the nutrients from the fruits and vegetables in you for two main reasons. Number one, you're going to be able to concentrate and eat more volume of the fruits and vegetables. For example, you know, I got like 10 ounces of Swiss chard here from my garden, and you might be able to steam it and eat it. But when you juice it, you literally get the nutritious juice out of it, and you can juice big volumes that compress into a small amount. So for example, 5 pounds of carrots will turn into literally 4 to 5 cups of juice depending on what juicer you're using. And so you could get the nutrients from a lot more vegetables than you normally would otherwise. You know, even with blending, you could juice a pound of carrots, you have a pound of carrot mush. You can't, like with juicing, you have a pound of carrots, you have 1 cup of juice, 8 ounces of juice. So it's a really good way to increase the amounts of the beneficial foods on the entire planet, the fruits and the vegetables. Second reason why I like it is because it removes part of the fiber. John, but you're juicing, you remove all the fiber. Well, there's two main kinds of fiber that's usually identified and talked about. It's the soluble fiber and the insoluble fiber. We're removing all the insoluble fiber. That's the kind that comes out in the juicer, all the pulp. But the soluble fiber actually goes into the juice. So for example, in the carrots that I'm juicing today, it's about 48% soluble fiber. So we're getting roughly 50% of the fiber even when we juice. In addition, the juice takes away the fiber, so it makes it one of the easiest foods for us to digest. You know, it gets digested very quickly without much any energy exertion from your body, so you could have a more and better energy, and also get, of course, some of the beneficial phytochemicals and phytonutrients from the vegetables. And this is my way of doing it, right? I grow vegetables in my backyard, I source things from local farms, and then I bring it home and I might juice in my Omega VSJ843 juicer. I do need to give you guys a disclaimer. I do sell juicers for a living. You could visit me at discountjuicers.com if you'd like to support me. And be sure to check my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/rawfoods, where I have over 500 videos comparing and contrasting different juicers and sharing with you guys the appliances that allow you to eat more fruits and vegetables. That being said, you know, this is my way of doing things, grow things in my backyard, bring it in and juice it with my juicer, and I could juice whatever the heck I want, whenever I want. But there's a new way, there's a new technological way you could do this. This company right here called the Juicero company, they came out with an internet-connected juicer, right? This guy needs Wi-Fi for you guys to be connected, for it to even be able to make a juice. And if you thought that wasn't bad enough, you know, the worst part is that you actually gotta buy, you can't even grow your own produce anymore. You have to buy pre-packs of produce that's all packaged up, at least this is all recyclable, that gets shipped to you once a week. And in each package there's like, in a box this size, there's like 5 packs of juice packs that all with the pulp and everything. And then you could press that out and it only makes 5 cups of juice. So right here I have approximately 1 cup of juice in produce, approximately over a pound. But let me show you guys all the packaging that goes into this machine so you guys could make juice. And once again, in my opinion, this is totally disconnected. You're disconnected from the farms. You don't know where the food came from. Yes, it is organic, and yes, this is some kind of fully recyclable, but all this fiber stuff here. They got these reusable cold packs that are cool. I'll be reusing those. And there's a bunch of these guys in here. And then you got a box, oops, you got a box here that's kept cold. Actually, it did come cold. That was quite impressive. Another box here with all the juice packs. I've used a bunch of them, so I only have 1 left. But now you have all this plastic packaging where they basically chop up in a special way all the pulp and put it in the bag so that, you know, you can press it out with your juicer. And look at all this, what you have left. You have a big box with all this insulation-like material. They've actually put this inside my walls, actually, and good enough to insulate the juicer. Juice pulp, and then all this to recycle. So I'll probably be shredding up that box and actually go into my composter and shred up this box as well. And we're going to be juicing out this pressed juice right here. In addition, they got a little QR code here that the juicer scans, and if the QR code has already been used, it won't let you juice the pack again. In addition, it checks to make sure that the food hasn't been recalled, there's no bad bacteria in it, or anything like that, or they won't let you do it, and that's why it's internet connected. So I think this is kind of a sham. It doesn't really need to be internet connected. I mean, if you're ordering the juice pack from them, they got your email address, they have an app on the iPhone and all this stuff. They could push notifications out to you if something's being recalled, so you don't have to press it out. It's just a needless waste of technology, and investors invested a lot of money in to make this juicer happen, unfortunately. I think that money could have been better to teach people about growing food and how important it is to be connected with food instead of being less connected with food and more connected with little plastic pouches to make it more convenient and easy to eat. And I mean, I know a lot of you guys are still in that trap, right? We're going to go ahead and close that. A lot of you guys still buy a lot of packaged foods, and I want to encourage you guys to ditch the packaged foods, whether that's plastic packaging juice packs, whether that's packaged or bottled, canned food products. I want you guys to grow as much of the food you can as possible, and if not, buy bulk foods, buy bulk, beans and rice and grains, and process them yourself at home. You want to take the processing that somebody else is doing out of their hands into your own, right? Because even though, they say in that juice pack it's all cut up vegetables, how do I know they're not adding sodium benzoate or they're not adding other things that I'm not aware of? And most companies, they may or may not add things. Hopefully they're not adding things that are not on the ingredient labels. That'd be unethical, but companies do that all the time, So yeah, I mean, it's just much better to be connected with the food, know where it came from, knew how it was grown. Super critical, super important, right? I grow my food in, a highly nutritious soil. Most soils from conventional farming and even organic farming, which is better than conventional, it's not the answer because they're not really focused on building high quality soil. They're just in it to make a buck, much like the Juicero company, right? They want to sell juicers and make a lot of money, and they sell you the juicer, and then you can't even juice your own produce in it. You got to buy their pre-made produce bags for $5 to $8 each that only make 1 cup of juice. Meanwhile, my garden's pumping out kale, collard greens, chard leaves every day of the year, and it's pumping them out. I could bring them in, juice them, and I'm juicing them literally for free and having some of the best food in the world. Here's another thing. Once you pick a leaf, right, it starts to degrade. And once you process it, it starts to degrade and you start losing nutrition even more. So despite, they put these in the little juice packs, it's been picked and harvested hopefully within a week, then it gets to you and then it might sit in your fridge for a couple days. I mean, this has like a 7-day shelf life by the time it gets to me. And then it's degrading, some of the nutrients are, dissipating. But meanwhile, if you just pick it in your backyard, bring it right in, juice it right up, you're going to get the maximum amount of nutrients out of the produce. In addition, also, I'm adding things like trace minerals like rock dust and ocean solids to put minerals back into my soil that big conventional farms and even organic farms, unfortunately, are just simply not doing. So yeah, super important for you guys to be your own producer instead of a consumer as much as possible. Anyways, what I'm going to do next, actually, since I got that juice bag in here, we're going to go ahead and get set up in juice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to juice, actually, I'm going to press the start button on there, run a stopwatch app for you on my iPhone, and juice in here at the same time to see which juicer is faster, and of course, which one is less expensive and makes a higher quality juice in the end. Alright, so now we're back, and we're going to get juicing in both these two juicers here. And before I start, actually, I do want to say that there's a popular video by Bloomberg, and I'll put a link down below if I remember. But basically, they take the Juicero juice pack that you guys saw me put in the juicer that's actually locked in. I don't even know if I can get it out now. But they took it with their hands and wrung it out. So they didn't even need this connected juicer to get the juice out of it, because basically they grate up the produce or shred it or cut it in a way so that it's literally sitting in juice, and actually get probably a similar yield from just squeezing it than putting it into this expensive machine. So it's kind of like the idiocracy. I don't know, just some machinery is just unneeded, and people try to make things more complex than it needs to be, especially like gardening. Anyways, let's go ahead and hit the start on the phone here so you guys can see, and we're going to go ahead and hit this button, then we're going to immediately get juice in here in the juicer. Alright, hit start, it's going. I'm going to start this juicer up, feed in some of these greens right into the machine. Best to alternate greens and the carrots so that it works the best. They literally get sucked in. Put a carrot in there. Put some more greens in. I don't even see any juice coming out over on this side yet. Meanwhile, we got some juice dribbling out. Got 2 more green leaves going in my machine here. I grew myself. You guys saw me pick them here. Oh, they got juice coming out over there. Let's go ahead and push these greens in with the carrot. Pulp's coming out over on this side. 2 more chard leaves going right in the machine. Oh, stopped it up. Back it up there. Alright, let's put some more chard leaves in here. That machine's still running, still going. Throw some carrots through here. Alright, for best results, I probably should have pre-cut my Swiss chard. Having a hard time now in the VSJ843 since I didn't pre-cut my produce. Running right through it though. Alright, let's chop up these last bits of chard here. That Juicero is still running over there, still dripping out. Almost done juicing here in the VSJ843. Real produce instead of pre-processed produce. Alright, got all the chard in. Let's go ahead and work on getting these last few carrots through the machine one at a time. That thing's still running, still dripping. Alright, last carrot going into the VSJ843. Once again, for best results, I always encourage you guys usually to pre-cut your greens before putting it in the machine, such as Swiss chard, kale, collard greens. Okay, got the last bit of carrot in there. Looks like we're all done juicing in the Omega VSJ843. Looks like the Juicero is still making some noise, still working. Alright, the Juicero stopped. Let's go ahead and turn this baby off. And we're at about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. In that time, I was able to juice in the Juicero. And the pulp pack is all done. And we got the juice right here. Line that up. We got about, I don't know, about 8 ounces of juice. Over here, we juiced over a pound of juice. Actually, we got more. We got a pound. 1 1/4 ounces. In this, we actually have about 1 cup. So this is 1 cup, 1 cup and a quarter, 1 1/4 cup. Sorry. All right, and there is the juices we made. Next thing I want to do for you guys is actually open this up, and I want to show you guys actually what was created in here. Let's go ahead and cut this open. If we could pull it out. All right, so we just cut this pack open. Now they say these packs are like recyclable, or they just recycle like plastic or something like that. But you got to take out the little lining on the inside. Anyways, inside this pack here, what we got is just basically like mashed up produce here. Over on this side, once again, we also have mashed up produce, but the produce on this juicer doesn't come in a plastic bag. It comes in a reusable plastic catch cup, and all these guys are going to actually end up in my compost pile. I think the next thing I want to do is actually taste the juice, right? So here's the thing. This juice was $5 or maybe $6 actually for this juice pack. I don't know where the farms came from, although it is certified organic. I don't know how it was processed, what was added to it. In addition, you have to actually buy a $400 juicer to process these specific packs, and it created a lot of excess cardboard and waste products that, granted, can be recycled, but it's best to reuse instead of recycle. I'll be reusing some of those ice packs. They're actually kind of handy. Yeah, so I mean, once again, that's, you know, some of the cons of the machine. The pro of the machine is that there's no cleaning. Rather than open up the pack and composting it, there's no cleaning. You know, on this machine, I got about 3 minutes to clean in, right? But what's better for the environment, right? No cleaning or spending 3 extra minutes so that you don't have to recycle plastic in the first place. You don't have to have a shipping company deliver your juice packets to you, right? And burn extra gas to deliver them to you. It's a lot easier to grow them in your backyard. Pick them, come in and buy a juicer like this. This actually juicer is the same price as a Juicero, $3.99 at present time. Unlike the Juicero, this unit has a 15-year warranty. So if it fails within 15 years, right, the company will basically help you out and get you working again, provided it's due to no fault of your own. You didn't drop it, you didn't put a spoon down it, right? If it just broke because it just broke, they're going to take care of it. The Juicero, right, after 2 years, there's no warranty on it. So I mean, this is incredible. As much as, you know, this is more plastic and you're buying something being a consumer, it allows you to produce your own juice, whereas with the Juicero, you're still being a consumer to their packets. You could juice anything you want from your garden, even any produce in this juicer, and get some of the freshest, most delicious, and most nutritious juice. Last thing I'm going to do, I want to try this juice, and what we juiced today over on the Juicero side was carrot, apple, beet, spinach, lemon, celery, and ginger. I'm sure this is going to taste pretty good. I mean, that's a good juice. It's pulp-free, really clean. The thing I want to say is that when you use a press-style juicer, you may be leaving, or you probably are leaving, nutrients left in the fiber. You're not going to get as deep or of a rich colored juices. And if you want to learn more about this, be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/rawfoods, where I'll have an upcoming, really like hour-long video comparing the Juicero and going into all the pros and cons of it. Over on this side, of course, you know, we definitely got some more pulp in there and some foam as well. And I don't have any like fruit in this juice today, so let's go ahead and taste it. This is hardcore, man. Don't recommend making this recipe at home. And the juice, the VSJ didn't actually like it. It kind of clogged up a little bit. Best to pre-cut your greens. Wow. Although that's actually quite strong in a way, it's actually quite sweet. The Swiss chard stems, I encourage you guys to eat your Swiss chard stems, actually. If you like eating celery, you'll love eating Swiss chard stems. Swiss chard stems are kind of like really nice and mild and have a nice salty and sweet flavor when you grow them yourself and they haven't been picked, harvested, and put in a truck and delivered and sitting around in a warehouse and all this kind of stuff. They're really quite sweet just from the garden. So I could just sit there and snack on them, dip them in some hummus or some kind of, you know, fermented nut dip and eat it. So delicious. And in the juice, you could really tell. I mean, the juice is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually quite good. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode, right? I just want to kind of share you guys, although this machine is connected to the internet and you need it to have Wi-Fi to have it work, and thank God now that I'm done juicing all the packs in this machine, I can turn off my Wi-Fi because normally my Wi-Fi remains off because I don't like to have excess wireless signals in my house whenever possible. I think I get zapped enough every other place. And also, the other thing for gardeners actually is the Wi-Fi. They've been done studies where Wi-Fi could actually decrease your plants. You know, so like especially if you're growing like a cannabis grow or medicinal cannabis grow, turn off your Wi-Fi, man. That's might be lowering your production. And so I want to minimize all that so my plants and me have the best time and the best health and thrive. So I think the last thing I'm going to do is actually going to go ahead and take these two guys out and compost them to complete the cycle, and then I'll probably be recycling this pack near me. Or the other ludicrous thing, to recycle this pack, they'll send you a mailer so you can actually send this back so that you could recycle it. So now you've got this extra postage and extra traveling to just recycle plastic, when in the first place it'd just be easier not to make the plastic waste in the first place, right? So yeah, to each their own. I mean, I personally think the Juicero, I mean, it's for rich people, you know, that don't want to have a garden, you know what I mean? If you are rich, instead of buying the Juicero, I would encourage you guys to get one of these and hire staff to grow your own high-quality food that literally money cannot buy, and have them juice it for you, right? Better than buying a Juicero and buying the pre-made packs, because now you're becoming more of a producer in our consumerism society, and I think that's just for the better. Anyways, let's go ahead and go out back and show a really good piece of technology I like to use, which is my composter. So you guys just saw the ridiculousness of like that juicer and how it takes all that plastic packaging just to make 8 ounces of juice and all that extra waste of the packing, the shipping and all that stuff. And when you're done, you know, you got a little bit of pulp to compost. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and throw that in my composter and encourage you guys to always compost your food scraps. Watch this guy, man. This is the drawer form. This is technology I like. It allows me to compost. Let's see. Oh, you guys see the steam coming out? So we're gonna go ahead and take that open bag here and dump our compost into the composter. And then they say if you pull out this stuff here in the middle, you could basically recycle this bag here. I wonder how many people really do that. But of course, you know, the compost I made in my juicer just comes in a little bin, and I could just toss it in there. Super simple, super easy. And you know, that's the very chard and whatnot that came out of my garden, going back in to build my compost, which then in turn I'll harvest and grow more food with. This is the cycle of nature, right? In nature, there's no such thing as waste. And yes, with some technology is good, but I think a lot of technology is being misused and misapplied, especially when it comes to, like, you know, chemical innovations. You know, that's new technology. The chemical way of farming is one of the things that I'm not a super huge fan of. Yes, it does grow food, right? Just like that Juicero makes juice, but there's better ways of using technology to our benefit, right? I like things like moisture sensors that could, you know, adjust my irrigation system and water properly, right? Chemical fertilizers, they destroy the natural soil microbiome, and it destroys the soil, and we're losing organic matter at an alarming rate. And this is one of the biggest challenges in the world today, is we're losing organic matter in the soil, and the soil's carbon holding ability is being drastically reduced. So we need to increase the carbon in the soils by doing practices such as composting, adding rock dust and biochar, and this is a much more natural, sustainable way to do things. So before you guys go out and buy any piece of technology up and coming, ask yourself, you know, how am I going to use this? Is this going to do good for me and for the planet, or do worse? And spend your money wisely. Right? And of course, I encourage you guys to invest your money in growing some of your food. That, in my opinion, is probably one of the best investments you guys could make. Not only in your health, not only in your family's health, not only in your kids' health, but more importantly, for planetary health. And I mean, we all need to make a change on this planet, because the planet is not going in a good direction. Most people, and at least, you know, one person at a time, starts growing gardens. That's a way you guys could take a stand and make a difference. And of course, also have higher quality food that's also less expensive and more nutritious for you. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also be sure to share this video with somebody else that you might they might be interested in watching it. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below. You never know when I'm gonna show up and make a new video, and where I'll be showing up. Every 3 to 4 days I put out new videos on this channel. Also be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,200 episodes on this YouTube channel dedicated to teach you guys how to grow your own food at home, so you guys can be more sustainable and more connected with nature. So with that, my name is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing.